Well, hello there. We are at Camp Woodhaven today, and I am Yakker, or Vicky, and...
I'm Duckie. I'm Kelly. Or Kelly.
Right, and you would know Kelly, or Duckie, more from Camp Butterworth. And so we kidnapped her today and brought her up here, and we would like to talk about fairy houses. Have you ever found any fairy houses or made any?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're really cool. So
Tell me about them.
Well, it's really neat because you can wander through the woods and find really cool stuff and build little houses for fairies.
What kind of stuff?
Like natural stuff, like seeds, sticks. Well, I have a story.
Oh.
So we're gonna do, this is great for all of you daisies and brownies out there, and even juniors can get into this. Now, if you're a little older and go, oh, you know, man, nobody's read a story to me in a long time. If you can find this book, this is great for older girls to work with, you know, the daisies and brownies. So this book is really cool. It's called Fairy Houses. And so we're gonna read some of this to start with, and then we're gonna go on a fairy house hike. Doesn't that sound fun?
That sounds awesome.
Okay, well, I'll start. So this summer, my parents decided we should leave the city and spend a week on an island off the coast of Maine. They said there was something special for me on the island, something I would really like, but they wouldn't tell me what it was until we got there.
As soon as we got off the boat, I tried to guess. Is it the lighthouse? The seals? Those silly sandpapers on the beach? Sandpipers. Huh. Our cottage? Later, when we went on a walk in the woods by our cottage, I discovered the secret my parents had been keeping.
All right. Yeah, we're losing our page here. Fairy houses. People had built small houses for fairies to live in. Isn't that kind of cool? So that's what we're going to go look for. Okay. It has some rules over here, though. You may build houses small and hidden for the fairies, but please do not use living or artificial materials. Artificial. So what's that mean?
Man-made?
Yeah, probably man-made, or, you know, bracelets, or
anything that's on me already?
Forks, you know, buckets, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I asked if I could build a fairy house. My dad said yes, as long as I followed the rules of the woods. I scouted out places that would be just right for a fairy house. I chose a hollow at the base of an oak tree and collected some twigs, some leaves, some pieces of bark to build with, and I finished the inside with a floor of dry grass and made a roof with fallen leaves. I hoped the fairies would choose my house for a place to live in. The next morning, I couldn't wait to visit the woods again to see if anybody might be sleeping inside my house. When I bent down to look, I heard chirping. Was a fairy snoring? So she's building her fairy house. All right.
Hey, you're not a fairy, I said. You're a cricket.
The cricket was snoring?
Yeah, the cricket was snoring. The cricket hopped off into a bush full of bright red berries. Maybe the fairies would like some to eat, I thought. I gathered a handful of berries from the ground and sprinkled them around my house. The following day, after visiting the lighthouse with my parents, I decided to check on my fairy house. What could be in her fairy house now?
I don't know. Oh, a pair of finches were carrying the last berries away in their beaks. Searching the ground for more berries, I came to a small stream. The sound of the trickling water gave me an idea. Ooh. I took some stones from my pack that I had found near the lighthouse and arranged them in a circle near my fairy house. Then I filled the circle with water from the stream in case the fairies got thirsty or wanted to take a bath. So here's some of the birds eating the berries from the fairy house.
Anybody here? I whispered the next day. At first, the house looked empty. Then I spied someone in the pool. I wanted to get a closer look at the frog as he bathed. Oops, I guess not too close. He hopped out of the pond. As the frog leaped away, I could hear the other frogs singing out to him. I started singing myself as I got to work collecting acorns and pine cones. It was time to make some home improvements.
All right, home improvements. When I came back the next afternoon, I saw a squirrel nibbling on the nuts. Oh, she must have added nuts, but no fairies in sight. I just couldn't give up. I still hoped the fairies would visit my house. Maybe it needed a better entrance. In my pack were seashells and feathers my mom and I had found at the beach. I decorated the path leading up to the door. I thought about adding my shiny bracelet to one of the shells, but to catch the fairies' attention, but then I remembered the rules of the woods, like, no
bracelets.
No bracelets. The next morning, I got up very early when my parents were still asleep and tiptoed out of our cottage and into the woods. This was the day we would be leaving the island, so I had one last chance to visit my fairy house. So she had added the seashells, and squirrels were eating the nuts.
A fog had rolled in off the ocean, covering the woods like a thick blanket. I could barely see. It was like walking in a cloud. The trees seemed huge, and their branches looked like arms reaching out to grab me. Goosebumps started popping up on my arms and legs. Someone was watching me, I was sure. Should I turn around and run? But my fairy house was so close. It was then I heard footsteps and I saw a large, dark shape moving towards my fairy house. My heart started thumping. I jumped behind a tree to hide. Do you guys know what might be this dark shadow that's coming towards her fairy house?
It's walking, so it must be big.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This big?
Oh, I caught my breath. It was a deer.
Oh.
Licking the salty seashells. I stood perfectly still as she made her way lazily through the woods and then vanished into the mist. That would be neat to see a deer.
So cool. Exhausted, I sat down near my fairy house, watching, waiting, and wishing for the fairies to appear. The quiet of the woods and the soft mist made me super sleepy. My eyelids felt heavy, and I tried not to fall asleep. Before long, the sun started breaking through the mist, and with it came a soft breeze.
All right, I think we're going to stop there. So she's laying over here, getting sleepy, and her fairy house is over here.
Do you think maybe we can go find a fairy house?
Yeah, let's see if we can.
They sound super cool.
I know. So we're going to save our spot, and we'll come back to our book. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go look.
Okay. Well, let's see. Keep your eye out. I don't know, this looks kind of fun over here. Let's kind of cut into the woods.
Yeah, let's see what's off this path. I see some sticks over there.
Hey,
What is that?
look at that.
How cool!
All right.
So, what all do you see on there?
Oh.
Huh?
Look, there's kind of like an entrance, like in the book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what we
look
can
at
see
this.
over here.
Wow, this is fun. So there's some rocks.
And then we got some pine cones.
And, oh, look at that. There's some, little seed-like things right here.
And this piece of wood right here, it looks like animals, or it's unique.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I don't want to.
And that looks like they've decorated it with, there's more pine, like a bigger pine cone than different.
And then this leaf. Well, but doesn't this leaf look like it came off of a tree?
Yeah, unless, sometimes you find them, they fall.
Oh, that's
so
true.
That's kind of cool. Well, you know what? I want to look around. Maybe we could add to it, and this will be kind of fun. So we'll be right back. We're going to go see if we can find some stuff. These?
Yeah.
They are shagbark hickory.
Oh,
but
cool.
They were on the ground. Sometimes they fall, so we didn't pick them off of a tree.
No, we just found them on the ground.
I know. I found an acorn cap.
Oh, and I got some pine cones here.
Yeah, and this is really cool. This is a hickory nut. I don't know if everybody can see this hickory nut. It has like a heart. So maybe that can be like at the top.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Like welcoming, something like that. So
let's see what else we can add on here.
there we go. There's a heart.
How cool.
I'm gonna put a little acorn cap on the.
Oh, and we could always move some of those too.
Yeah.
And then I have some seeds here. We can make it so there's a pattern down here.
Yeah. Put one over here. Make it real enticing for them.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not gonna sit there. Here we go. Let's see. So they can find it.
Oh, hey, that pine cone looks pretty cool like that.
I'm gonna maybe on top of some of these rocks.
Let's put this in here as well. And we've got some live nature that was already on it.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. What do you think? I got one last piece. We'll put it right there.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. So they'll walk up here, and then if it rains, they're protected.
Yeah.
Their little.
That leaf's got a lot of shelter on it.
I know, that's cool. So they can sit there and watch out. That's kind of fun. So, hey, what do you think? This is really neat. So we'd like to challenge all of you to now go out and see if you can find some natural objects like this and build a fairy house. You want to read the rest of the story?
Yeah, let's go do that.
Okay, we'll find out after she fell asleep what she woke up to. So,
And if any fairies came to visit.
yeah. All right, we'll meet you back at the book.
All right, let's see what happened after she woke up.
Yeah, so she fell asleep, so she's laying there, and Kristen, the breeze seemed to whisper in my ear, Kristen, wake up. We can only stay a moment. Struggling to open my eyes, I saw a bright beam of light and a tiny smiling face. So, I wonder if that could be.
It's possible. Ooh. We are the fairies who live in the spirits of all the plants and animals in these woods, a voice said. Of all the houses here, the animals have chosen yours to visit. You have treated the woods with care and respect. Look quickly, Kristen, for this moment of magic when the fairies will show themselves as a way of thanking you. Look how cool that you can see all the fairies that came to visit her.
Because she put nuts out and she had water out
And she was showing care and respect to the nature.
yeah. As the late morning sun started breaking through the mist, light beams illuminated the fairies. They sparkled like jewels. They became so bright I had to close my eyes. I can imagine.
It just sounds so beautiful.
Yeah, like fireflies.
When I opened my eyes, the fairies had changed into beautiful monarch butterflies. Butterflies fluttered around me like great orange clouds, following me to the edge of the woods where the sun shone brightly. Look at all those butterflies.
I watched them dancing towards the light, higher and higher. Squinting into the warm golden day, I smiled and waved as the last butterfly disappeared into the sky. So that's the end of the story. So there's the monarchs disappearing into the sky. So, think of fairies now. Every time I see a monarch, I think. So, I really like this story. So if you guys like going outside, like we're in the woods right now, and if you notice with the fairy house, we didn't take any leaves off of trees. We didn't destroy any. Flowers would have been pretty, but we didn't want to pick flowers.
Right.
So I want to read these rules again. You may build houses small and hidden for the fairies, but please do not use living or artificial materials. So I think artificial materials is you don't want to leave anything that's like man-made or anything in the woods like that.
Or anything that's on you. That you
Right.
take with you.
But I think it's really good, and some of the other things we've done, we've talked about leave no trace. And I think it's really important that, I love the woods. And I want you guys to feel how, pretty and beautiful it is out here. And there's a lot of things that you can collect, seeds and rocks and you know, there's sticks, all sorts of things that you can build fairy houses with. But again, you want to protect, you know, the woods. And I think that's the whole point of the story is, you know, I feel like there's beings out here. There's a lot of animals, there's insects. This is their home, it's not ours. And so we really want to protect it for them.
And make sure that we're showing care and respect to the nature as well, because that's when the fairies got to come and see Kristen, which is awesome.
Yes. And just to finish up, hopefully you like that. I want to have our photographer come in, or our video person to come in and zoom in on some of these fairy houses, because this is summer and everything's like really green, and sometimes in the fall you'll get a whole lot more color because there'll be, you know, leaves down. Oh, here, this is like one that's in a pond or in a like creek. So I know a lot of you may just be kind of in your, here's something a little bit more fallish. You know, you may be in your backyard and you don't have a lot of secret places, but if you can go to a park, but I would say if you go to a park and you make a fairy house, take some pictures of it and enjoy it, but then I would definitely remove it before you leave, because you don't want to leave things, you know, in public places. But if you guys have like things from your garden at the end of the season, they're making the squash and gourds. Cool. So use your imagination for fairy houses, and all these items are just something you find out in nature. So, well, I hope you enjoyed our fairy house hike, and go out, make some, and share your pictures with us.
We're looking forward to seeing them.
Yep. All right. We'll see you.
Bye.